Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. I'm so glad you're here because today we're diving into something that is absolutely crucial right now. How in the world we are going to govern the impending autonomous AI workforce. I mean, we're way past simple chatbots at this point. We are entering an era where AI agents are actually taking action on our behalf. And honestly, that requires a completely new playbook. So let's jump right in.
Okay, just picture your organization for a second. Imagine waking up to a sudden, massive influx of invisible automated employees. Without proper governance, companies are going to quickly accumulate hundreds of these agents, and they'll have overlapping permissions, zero clear ownership, and they'll basically be running wild without any oversight. It is literally a recipe for total chaos. Think about it. You would never hire 100 human employees and just hand them the keys to your financial systems without an HR department, right? Well, AI is exactly the same.
So here's our roadmap to get from that impending chaos to actual, reliable control. We'll start with the threat of agent sprawl, then enter the agent gateway, look at core governance capabilities, explore agent-to-agent trust, and finally wrap up with the future, IAM for AI.
All right, part 1, the threat of agent sprawl.
To really grasp the danger we're facing, it helps to look back at the evolution of enterprise security. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. Back in the day with web applications, we built the API gateway as our main security checkpoint. Then, when we shifted to microservices, we introduced the service mesh. More recently, with AI assistance, we brought in the MCP gateway. So, logically, as we step into this wild era of full-blown agentic AI, we inevitably need an agent gateway. It's just the natural, necessary next step. Now, you might be wondering, hey, doesn't the Model Context Protocol, or MCP, already handle this? Well, not quite. MCP is fantastic for standardizing how agents interact with tools and context, but it entirely misses the governance piece. I'm talking no risk scoring, no human approval workflows, no accountability, and zero behavioral monitoring. Basically, MCP hands the agents their tools, but completely forgets to hire a manager for them.
And that missing management layer? That leads straight to what we call agent sprawl. This is the big one, the major headache modern enterprises absolutely have to solve. We're talking about the dangerous accumulation of hundreds of autonomous AI agents with overlapping permissions and unclear ownership, all because nobody put rules in place. It is a massive security nightmare just waiting to happen.
Moving right along to Section 2. Enter the agent gateway.
So how do we actually stop this sprawl before it takes over? Well, the source material puts it perfectly. The agent gateway becomes the equivalent of a next-generation API gateway, policy engine, trust broker, and governance platform specifically designed for autonomous AI systems. Basically, you can think of it as your central enforcer. It's HR, security, and compliance all rolled into one, specifically built for your new Silicon employees.
Which brings us to Section 3, Core Governance Capabilities. Let's unpack the actual superpowers this gateway uses to manage your AI workforce every single day. First up is Agent Identity Authority and Policy Enforcement. The gateway acts as the absolute source of truth. It assigns a unique identity to every single agent, manages their risk classification, and hands out cryptographic credentials. And here's the kicker. Before an agent can use any tool, the gateway checks the agent's identity, the business policy, and the regulatory rules. It literally checks the badge and the rulebook every single time.
Now, traditional identity management usually relies on static permissions. You either have access or you don't. But governing AI, that requires dynamic risk scoring. The gateway is continuously looking at agent behavior, how sensitive the data or tool is, the value of a transaction, the time of day, and even the user's own risk score. It takes all of that and adjusts controls dynamically, right on the fly.
And that dynamic scoring feeds right into human approval orchestration, because sometimes an agent can just do its thing autonomously, like searching a knowledge base or pulling a basic report. Safe stuff. On the flip side, you have restricted actions that are completely prohibited, like an agent trying to change its own permissions. No way. But right in the middle, that's where the gateway orchestrates human review. It pauses the agent, taps a human on the shoulder, and says, hey, I need approval for this sensitive financial transaction before I proceed.
Okay, Section 4, Agent-to-Agent Trust. Imagine your AI finance agent needs to work with your AI HR agent. How on earth do you govern that? Because soon, your enterprise is going to be packed with specialized agents, research, finance, security, and they have to talk to each other. The Agent Gateway handles this through agent collaboration governance.
It manages delegation, like can Agent A actually give a task to Agent B? It tracks trust relationships, sets scope restrictions so agents don't overstep, and ensures strict auditability. Every single handoff is logged so you can always trace exactly what happened.
To make that work seamlessly, the gateway becomes an enterprise trust broker, calculating trust scores based on 4 main factors. First, security. Are they compliant and vulnerability-free? Second, operational. What's their track record for success? Third, governance. Are they passing their audits? And finally, behavioral. Is the gateway detecting any weird anomalies or drift in how they're acting?
Beyond just trust, we also have to think about context exposure. The gateway enforces context governance controls, which is basically AI-native data segmentation. It strictly dictates what an agent can see, what it's allowed to remember for next time, what it can share with other agents, and what it can export. It keeps the AI's universe of knowledge safely boxed in.
Finally, let's head into Section 5, the future. I am for AI.
To see the big picture here, we have to look at the entire life cycle of an AI agent, because governance isn't just a one-and-done check, it is a full life cycle across 6 precise stages. Step 1, register, the agent is born. Step 2, certify, doing the security review. Step 3, deploying it into production. Step 4 is monitor, for continuous oversight. Step 5 is suspend, where we hit pause if something looks sketchy. And Step 6, retire, completely revoking access. This exact life cycle is what keeps those orphaned agents from quietly building up dangerous permissions over time.
But remember, machines do not set the rules. We do. The best setups include an agent governance board, kind of like your traditional change advisory board. Human leaders are the ones handling agent approval, risk classification, tool certification, and compliance oversight. We set the rules of engagement, and the agent gateway acts as the technical muscle to actually enforce them.
Human identity platforms completely changed how we govern our human workforce. Well, the Agent Gateway is about to do the exact same thing for AI. Right now, you might ask, who has access to this system? But very soon, you're going to be asking, which agent made this decision? Which agent approved this transaction? Which agent delegated this task? Without an Agent Gateway, you simply won't have the answers. So are you ready for your new workforce?